on Spotify, much like I'm sure you can do on Apple, you can pick out a playlist. So I've been listening for a few years now to almost all indie rock and a lot of like Appalachian country, not like banjo country, but like Chris Stapleton and Zach Bryan, those kind of guys.
Kind of like Southern rock, like not Southern rock necessarily,
No, it's
but
kind
like
of its
blues
own
country.
Yeah, it's kind of its own new genre. I mean, you because of the stuff I've listened to, I've got a menagerie of things in there. But so finally the other day, I was like, you know what, I haven't heard in a long time. The 90s. I haven't heard like a bunch of 90s tunes in a row. So I picked out a 90s, I think it was called 90s Drive.
Okay.
And I stuck that on and, you head down memory lane. Where were you when you were really listening to this song? Like I have a memory of being in a dorm with this roommate that was a fun guy, but he was kind of hard to take serious. And he was a big Dave Matthews fan.
Okay.
So I remember him bringing in Crash, like when Crash was brand new.
Yeah.
He brings it in. He's got these really nice stereo headphones, and he's like dancing around connected to our hi-fi stereo with the 24-inch.
That's a little weird.
It was, but he was like, I mean, he didn't want to be rude, so he was just had his cans on and he's going to town.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna dance in the living room.
So that's my
music you
memory
don't
of
hear.
like Dave Matthews, and you remember when you heard Pearl Jam, this, that.
Oh,
So-
sure, yeah.
So I got to thinking, I was just like, if I had to pick out 10 songs for that era, could I pick out 10 songs? And I was like, yeah, I could pick out 10 songs. It's like all college for me.
I think I could too.
Yeah, like 90.
Like,
90,
are we talking Desert Island songs? Like, here's 10 songs. These are the only
Yeah.
90s songs you get. I could do that probably.
So, like, 91 and 92 were the end of high school for me, and then college was 92 to most of the rest of the 90s.
Yeah.
But, you're in your first jobs, and you're hanging out with your, like, first kind of adult friends, and that music, I think, means more to folks than, say, like, the guys that are like 4 or 5 years older than me, they're still into hair bands. Like I have left hair bands a long time ago.
You kind of stick with the bands that like were the best time in your life.
Yeah, the best time in your life.
Yeah.
So I was like, could I pick out 10 songs? And I was like, absolutely, I could pick out 10 songs. But then I got to thinking, and I thought we might talk about this later at the end of the show.
Okay.
One song.
Okay.
One song to rule the 90s. The 90s song.
You posed this question to me the other day, and I was like, "Oh, what is the song of the '90s?" And
the song.
The song. But now you're putting here's the twist. I'll give you a twist. I thought you meant like what's the song that defines the '90s, not necessarily like your one song that you have to take with you, right?
No,
because it's a much different answer for me. I will tell you that.
Okay. So I think we can do both.
Okay.
You could make an argument for a lot of different songs that defines the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll also be fun to talk about your song of the 90s. And I'll give you a couple of criteria as a teaser. It definitely has to involve drugs or heroin or things that are going on in 20-somethings for us.
Pretty low bar for 90s songs, I would
Right.
say. Go ahead.
Okay. It has to be a 90s song, okay? Because Lionel Richie was popular in the 80s, but he was not putting out 80s songs.
He's not a 90s artist.
So that's that's my point.
Came along in the 90s. Came along and got big in the 90s.
Yeah, it's almost got to be a Seattle grunge.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that sound defined the 90s.
That sound? Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, of course, No Doubt was big in the 90s.
There was also like that California punk. That took over the last 5 years of the 90s.
And there was some big band. There was like a big band revival in there with the movie Swingers and those kinds of things.
That happened for like 10 minutes. I don't consider that.
Okay,
yeah.
so anyway, we will talk about this at the end of the show when we talk about the Gen X stuff. So you got one that would not make the one, but is in your top 2 or 3.
Ooh. That would not make the one, but is in the top 2 or 3. Probably. Probably Beck, loser.
Why did you take mine?
What? You're kidding me.
No, because I was thinking like it would be really funny for me to say, looking at my bets this weekend, loser.
All right. So last week, the Green Bay Packers were the team that we said we trusted, and they did the thing where they reached into our chests and pulled out our hearts and showed it to us. They took a big wet bite out of it, and they said, that's pretty good. I should show this to San Diego. And they turned to San Diego, and they said, hey, take a bite of this. And San Diego took a bite, and I was like, that's tasty. I'm going to try some of that next week. And that's what San Diego did to our bets. If there was a one way to define, well, other than the Packers just continuing, like they were like food drunk on our gambling hearts because they screwed that up again this week too.
The Chargers were 3-0. They had looked like world beaters. They were going to New York. Any team you face in actually New Jersey in the Meadowlands is bound to be bad or worse. We had the Chargers all across the spectrum of our bets and teasers and adjusted lines, teasers, money line parlays. We had them all over the fucking place.
And we never, not once, did we pause and go, this is the spot where this gets screwed up.
The Giants have looked like dog shit. I don't think they played all that well Sunday, but the Chargers were just not so great. And Dart was decent.
He was okay.
Yeah.
He was okay. And part of the problem was the Chargers lost their left tackle early in the game. And that led to Herbert getting sacked 6 times.
Yeah, he got knocked around.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where I think we probably underestimated the effect of bringing in a fresh new quarterback who everybody's excited about and playing, starting at home. And here comes the hot team that, they're looking like maybe they're the ones that can be trusted now. And they just got a little ahead of themselves, I think. And Jackson Dart injected a little bit of energy into that stadium.
There was something there. I will have to give them that much credit. Are we R.I.P. Russ Wilson?
Oh, it's done.
It's over?
It's over. He'll play. He'll be playing somewhere next year.
Is he going back to the Steelers when Aaron Rodgers retires?
He'll be the Browns he'll take a tryout with the Browns. I guess the Browns are going to go. You know what?
Oh gosh,
we can fix him. We can fix him.
Gosh.
Oh, we're just one quarterback away. Can you come in
so
here?
He's definitely
can you mentor Shador for us, please?
He's going to get 2 years and $90 million from the Browns.
It's something. He's going to get something stupid. If you want to go fishing for a stupid contract, call Cleveland first. No, Russ is done, man. This is Jackson Dart's team now, barring injury. Russell Wilson was relegated to garbage time. He was Trubisky time for the Giants.
All right, well let's look over a couple of games. Okay. I thought the game of the week obviously was Green Bay and the Sister Kisser on Monday night versus the Cowboys. As we're watching the game, I've got money on Green Bay. I've got them in a couple of different bets, and they just never fired. Except they kept firing. They kept scoring points, but they never could stop a CD Lamb-less Dallas Cowboys offense. All credit to Dak Prescott, who I think is the mid quarterback. I've never much liked his game, but they put up 40 points.
I didn't get to watch as much football as I normally do.
Right.
This weekend I was off. I was working at a festival in Liberty, Kentucky. Shout out to Casey County Apple Festival. I had a wedding that I did on Sunday, so I didn't get to watch as much as I normally do. But I did watch this game pretty much all the way through. And for a couple teams that scored 40 points each, it was a fun game to watch because of the scoring and the back and forth and everything that happened in the last few minutes. But why am I just not that impressed with Dak, and why am I not that impressed with Jordan Love yet? I don't understand it. They put up 40 points apiece.
I don't think they're impressive. I'm not trying to be flip, but I just don't think either Dak has his moments, and maybe it's just my bias, but I just don't think he's all that.
He dropped that dime rolling out to his right late in the game to get the Cowboys down to the 2. I think it was for the go-ahead score late in the game before the Packers came back and tied it. But he had an absolute dime, and other than that, I can't remember a single play that Dak made that I went, oh, maybe I've underestimated him. It's just not there, and also the defense. I mean, they're playing like it's garbage time, almost from the get-go.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, yeah, I guess if you're throwing all the time, you're going to put up some points because your defense can't stop anybody. But I don't know. It was a good game. I certainly didn't come away feeling any better about Green Bay after the cracks started to emerge against the Browns last week.
So, for as good as Sunday night was, the Monday night slate was god-awful.
Terrible.
Let's just go RIP Bengals season. They are 2-2. You know what? And the AFC North is gettable, but they had a replay of Jake Browning throws, and he is, to steal a line from Bull Durham, he fucks like he pitches all over the place.
Not great, Bob.
No.
It's looking pretty rough. The only thing is, I'm not crossing off the Bengals.
The defense is so bad.
The defense is bad.
They scored 3 points, and they gave up 28 to Bo Nix.
Well, and Bo Nix is not good either.
No, he wasn't good.
The good news is they didn't make Bo Nix look better than he is, because regardless of what, I mean, you should look a lot better than you do if you're winning a 24-3 game. And I just don't think Bo Nix. Why he doesn't look any better than he did last year as a rookie.
And the Bengals look bad, but the only thing that looked worse on Monday night was Tyreek Hill's knee.
Yeah,
pointing the wrong way, and he's smiling. Is he good? Like, is he an influencer? Like, and they said today I think he had surgery today.
He had successful surgery, and he says he's playing in 26.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And the doctors told him he could play in 26.
Yeah.
Now, for a guy that relies on world-class speed, and I mean world-class speed,
some of the best
not
you've ever
football
seen.
speed,
Yeah.
actual world-class speed,
Yeah.
goes to track meets and dominates. I don't know what that looks like, because physically he's not 6'3", he's not David Boston, he's not DK Metcalf, he's not that kind of guy.
No.
He is a speed guy, and he makes his bones running past you. So it was a gruesome injury. The game was actually competitive, but it's now the 0-4 Jets. I thought it was a loser leaves town. I think what ended up happening is a double DQ where they're both counted out. And it's the Jets 0-4, season over. They may as well be playing for the number 1 pick, which is not going to be Arch Manning. And the Dolphins' season is over because they have Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback and Tyreek Hill in the hospital.
They're an automatic bet against for the rest of the season.
Automatic. And so are the Jets.
The same, and the
Bengals right now.
The loser leaves town match implies that both of these teams were even in town to begin with.
I know,
and
yes.
That's
But they're
I don't think they were. I think they were sunk before they even walked through the door.
They're done.
Yeah,
they're done for the year.
Bet against them if you can get any sort of value at all.
That's going to be the hard part, is getting any value out of them.
Yeah. Let's go back real quick. I just want to hit on this. The Packers and Cowboys. We ended in a 40-40 tie. It kind of played with some of our bets, because what they end up doing on FanDuel at least is they void that leg of your parlay,
which is kind of nice, because the rest of your parlay, if you have a money line, now if you bet the Packers and you had them like -2.5 or whatever, you lose.
The points are still in play.
You lose that bet.
Yeah, I hit the Dallas. Dallas with the points on that one.
But for money line, they voided that line in a parlay, and they just moved on as if that bet never took place.
As if you had a 2-leg parlay.
So we'll find out in the contest later that I actually hit 2 out of 3.
But can I ask you, why do we have ties? Why do we have ties in football?
Okay, we've talked about this.
We don't have ties in. I mean, we don't even have ties in hockey. Hockey figured this out 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and if the NHL can figure out something before you figure it out,
Wait a minute. The hockey still has ties.
hockey does not have ties.
Yes, it does.
No, they do not. They go to a shootout now. That you get a point for going to overtime. You get 3 points for a win. You get 1 point for
They go
an
to a
overtime
shootout
loss.
every
They
time.
go to 3. They go to 4-on-4, and then they go to 3-on-3.
Okay, that's
they
right.
play until somebody, and they
This
started
is
doing
this
the
is
shootout.
my reference for hockey, which is NHL
exactly,
94.
and this is why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying if the NHL figured this out, so that we don't have sister kissers in that league, where ties were like part of the hockey culture for decades. It was like, oh, ties are fine. It's fine. Let's shake hands. Good job, fellas. Good job. And then they went home. Now we have ties in the NFL now, and why? If you just had 5 more minutes of this game,
Okay,
that does it.
I don't know how you do it with football. Okay, so hear me out.
Put the 5 minutes back in. Put the
I
5
agree
minutes
with you.
back in.
Put the extra. Just play a full quarter. I get that. But here's the question: do you want to see college football overtime in the NFL? Because
Absolutely not.
I guarantee you,
Absolutely
people
not.
will go bananas over that because it's one of the dumbest rules. I don't want to see that. Give me a whole quarter, that's fine, but you're still going to run the risk of ties.
Yeah, I suppose, but we've got to. It's
Here's a
Why
rule
would-
that could make it at least a little more interesting.
yeah.
Everything has to be a 2-point conversion in overtime in the NFL.
So you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2.
You have to go for 2.
It's fine with me. Yeah.
Well, so we would change it to play the full 15 minutes.
Yes.
Everything has to be a 2-point conversion.
Yes.
Okay, I can get with that, and
Yeah.
that gives us a little more opportunity. The other thing that they could do in overtime, this is crazy, but let's say if you kick a 20-yard field goal, it's a point.
I was just gonna say this.
One more point or one less point. Like, let's say you get it all the way down to the 10 and you kick. Do you get an extra point or you get a less point?
I was just gonna say that I thought about this the other day. It's got to be at least a 45-yard field goal, or it's only worth 1 point. That's what I would say. The only issue you're gonna run into then is somebody's got their 3rd and 17 on like their own
And they back
whatever,
it up.
and they just run backwards and down it. Like that's gonna happen because
why
that's
not?
the difficult thing about NFL that I will admit is that you're always going to have somebody figure out the deficiencies. Like Green Bay,
I saw somebody took a safety the other day to run out of clock.
run out of clock. Yeah,
So
so
that's
that they
one of
could
the little wrinkles.
Yeah, I mean, people, the teams figure this out, and Green Bay, if it was, I would guess if it wasn't as early in the season, they might have gone with 1 second left on the clock. I bet they try to go for that touchdown instead of kicking that was the safe play.
Well, here I
And
am.
I just don't know about I don't know about rewarding that with anything. That's just my rule.
I'm sitting here on the couch.
and I wanted your 3-legger to hit, man. That's the other thing.
Well, I knew it couldn't. Like in the last minute of the game, I knew I could not hit it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know what the rule is as far as whether my parlay lives or dies.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hope for a tie that is a positive outcome, and it actually turned out to be a positive outcome.
Okay. Figure it out, NFL. Come
But
on.
you
You're
know,
behind hockey.
I think there
for
are a
God's
couple
sake.
things. We just came up with 2 things that would lessen
Mm-hmm.
it. But I think your outrage is just a little misplaced. What were the stats you gave me the other day of the last 108 overtime games? 6 have ended in ties.
I think it was 7.
Okay, but
It's 5.6%.
there's
Look,
not that many overtime games, and that was the 108 was over a long period of time, and only a very small percentage of those overtime games end in ties.
Yeah.
So we might see 2 or 3 ties at most in a season. Most of the time, it's like 1, and sometimes, and many times, it's none. So I think your outrage is just a little over the top over this. That's
Whatever.
okay. You guys don't get to see
I don't
his
like
text.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Fix it, NFL.
All right.
It's not hard.
Just going over a couple more games. Seahawks Cardinals had a really fun game. They ended up 23-20. Seahawks won on the final play, 52-yard field goal. I love like the 52 to 58 yard regular hits now.
Yeah.
Like he's good from 62. And it happens pretty
Yeah.
regularly.
We're getting a lot of 60 plus, 58, 59, 60.
especially like at the end of the half.
Yeah.
Where they know that there's no penalty for, as long as they don't kick it so short that they can return
Right.
it.
Don't get it blocked. Don't get it
Yeah,
run
like
back.
the 64-yard attempts.
Yeah.
I love those. So Seahawks are 3-1, and they are only one of the top 5 point differentials in the league. I know you don't believe in them.
That's alarming to me. I feel okay, we're looking at the Seahawks. We're talking about the Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks.
Who's their
the
quarterback?
Sam Darnold Seahawks.
There you go.
Listen, I'm gonna fan. I'm gonna address you straight. I'm looking straight at you. Please don't get sucked in by this. It's Sam Darnold. Just hedge your bets. Be ready. The Sam Darnold dick punch machine is ramping up. It's gonna hit you at some point in this season. Maybe not this week. Maybe not a month from now. It's coming. We've seen it. Carry on.
All right.
So I don't understand. I'm shocked by that number.
Yeah, their point differential is, I had it right here, pulled it up. That's in Minnesota. Seattle's plus 44. The best in the league is plus 49. That's Detroit. And the next best is Buffalo plus 43.
I'm trying to find their numbers because on the Ringer they do the power rankings and they list every team's EPA, offense and defense, pass and rush.
Let me ask you
For
this.
example, the Eagles, who they consider to be the top in the league. Should we explain what EPA means? Do most people know what EPA means?
No.
Expected points added per drop back or carry or defensive play.
I didn't even know what it meant.
That means
EPA
it means like, for example, the Eagles have the 25th best EPA. They generate 0.01 points per drop back.
Oh, interesting.
In
Okay.
passing game. They make up for that by having a 0.05 EPA per rush. Anyway, the EPA. I'm looking at the. Go ahead.
That is a rabbit hole you don't need to go down.
It's just the way that the Ringer does their power.
I'm just wondering who we put in the circle of trust.
They-
Who is left in the circle of trust? Because I kicked out Green Bay last week.
Green Bay's out. They got to live in the.
I can't.
Shed out back.
The
They're not-
Steelers
they're
are
not
3-1,
allowed
and I
mouse.
can't put them in there.
No.
The Bills are 4-0. I definitely trust the Bills, but they're going to have a letdown at some point because they keep having these Milton Berle games, like where they don't look like they're all that put together, and then they win 31-19 over the worst team in the league, the Saints.
The thing the Bills have been doing is they figure out a way to pick at whatever your weakness is, they're going to go for it, and they're just going to keep hitting it until they break through. I mean, that game, that's what they did with the Saints. They just kind of felt them out. They're playing with their food at this point, is what they're doing, they're not playing anybody. That's the thing. That's why I'm kind of, you're not going to get good value on the Bills for a while, at least until they meet the Chiefs in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get.
There's nothing that stops you from putting them in an alternate line.
No, you can grab an alternate line on them. But that gets tricky too, man, because they didn't cover against the Saints. I mean, even though they
that was like 10.5, wasn't it?
It was
beat them
16.5.
Oh gosh.
So I mean,
trust.
you're going to have trouble getting the value, but you can trust. I mean, you can take their minus 1,800 and throw it in a parlay and up your parlay by an extra 25 points. I don't know.
I trust the Panthers to be reliably bad. They lost to the Patriots 42-13. That's Drake May.
The only thing is that 30-0 at home against the Falcons is going to stick out like a sore thumb. When is that team going to show back up?
I don't know what happened, but the Falcons, I guarantee you, are not the cone of trust, the circle of trust.
That's true. Okay.
I trust the Rams.
Yes.
I told you about the line the other day.
Yeah.
The Rams are 3.5-point favorites over the Colts, and I was like, bet it hard.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to cover that. The Colts are mirage. They're not that good.
Yep.
Do we trust the Jags, who are 3-1?
I'm not. I can't get on the Jags yet.
They went to the 49ers and beat the 49ers 26-21.
I understand. Brock Purdy has not been good. This is his first week back from turf toe, which is apparently he's got the mild turf toe. I don't know, but he didn't look good. He's looked worse every season since he came into the league, which is odd and a little bit alarming if you're a Niners fan. He doesn't have the weapons like he did. I think Kittle was out again.
Brock Purdy doesn't have the arm talent.
Right.
He just does not have a
Right.
He's not born to be, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
That's not who he is.
My point being, I think the best unit on Jacksonville is the defense, and they haven't had to do much against some of these teams so far. I don't know. You also got Trevor Lawrence, who the numbers on the offense are not good. The passing offense is terrible. I'm trying to find their rankings here.
They've managed to win 3 games. And their only loss is to Cincinnati, who that was a very
game that was just kind of
game.
bananas. Yeah, I get it, but
they've beat the Okay, well, let's back up. They beat the Panthers, the Texans, the Bengals.
Yeah,
they lost the Bengals, and they beat the 49ers on the road.
Yeah, they have the 22nd passing offense, 3rd rushing offense. 3rd passing defense, 11th rushing defense. So they've got a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
And that's going to carry him through a lot. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. After this much time, there's a lot. I got to see him do it a lot more before I'm going to really trust him. But against the right teams.
Do you trust the Chiefs at this point?
I'll tell you who I trust before the Chiefs is the Lions now.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm back. I think the Lions now, after 3 weeks of wins, they're back, man. They're back in the circle of trust.
Yeah, the Philadelphia, Detroit. I like Tampa still. They're scrappy.
Look, they almost pulled that game out. Even as badly as it looked like they were getting beat, they still almost pulled that game out against
the
Philly.
Rams. Those are my 4 NFC teams.
Okay.
Buffalo, trust. Definitely trust Miami to lose. Definitely trust the Jets to lose. Mm-hmm. Definitely trust Cleveland to lose, although they just do have this little sneaky, really rock-hard defense.
They are a backdoor cover kind of team.
Yeah.
I
don't trust Indy at all. I trust Jacksonville more than Indy. I think Houston is actually going to be okay.
Can we back up to Indy for just a second?
Yeah.
I almost trust Indy more than I did last week because of the way that they played against the Rams. I know Dimes threw 2 picks. When you look
that's
at the
Daniel Jones to you, not initiated into the Bill Simmons podcast universe.
Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones still looked good. And the stuff that I saw from that game, he still looked okay. And
they have Travis Etienne.
They have the Colts.
Yeah.
No, the Colts have
who am I saying?
Jonathan Taylor.
That's who I'm thinking.
Jonathan Taylor's been really good.
Jonathan Taylor. I was like,
their offensive line is pretty good. Their defense is pretty good. They gave the Rams everything that they wanted, man. And I'm not going to say I trust the Colts, but they're above water for me now.
Is this an AFC South renaissance?
I don't think so, because there's still the Titans, and I don't know whatever's going on with Houston.
I still think Houston's the best team in the conference.
Or
in the division.
Their offense is so bad. Their offensive line is terrible, and then they went and traded away one of their tackles.
Do you know how many points they've given up this season through 4 games?
The Houston?
Yeah, 51.
I mean, that's good, but that offense it's not doing anything.
That's 13 points a game.
CJ Stroud does not look. He just doesn't look any better than he did. I don't know, man.
They're 1-3.
A little scary.
They're 1-3, and they have a positive point differential.
Okay. I don't know if trust is the right word.
No.
for them. Are they the good bad team?
I trust Las Vegas to lose.
Okay.
I trust Tennessee to lose. I trust Cincinnati to lose at this point.
Did you already say New Orleans?
New Orleans is the worst team in the league.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, let's if you want to talk about any of the other games, the Ravens Chiefs was predictable. Lamar is dinged up. The Chiefs are somehow resilient. I don't get it.
I want to talk about the Ravens.
I don't think the Chiefs are very good.
I think the Chiefs we're going to learn a lot more in the next couple weeks. I think the Ravens might be bad. I'm going to save the Ravens, though, because we've got a whole section for them in corrections.
Okay, corrections.
You want to?
Okay, let's take a break. That's
Okay.
that's our recap. I mean, you've heard about the fun games, the important games, the Monday night doubleheader of doom, the Packers, Cowboys 40-40 sister kisser that Andrew hated. The Texans stomped the Titans in a way that looked like a mismatched fight in the early years of the Octagon.
Did you see Cam Ward just go absolutely went in on his team afterwards in the press conference?
Go for it,
Just
buddy.
went after him. Yeah.
Eagles beat the Bucks at the Bucks. The Eagles look good. I like the Bucks still. I still like them. They were without a bunch of their receivers.
I'm okay with it.
The Pats, I don't get it. 42-13 over the Panthers. People say the Pats are good. Fuck them. I don't
Are
know.
they? How are they? How is anybody
not-
saying the Pats are good? Drake May is good.
Maybe. Anyway, let's move on. And remember, if you are watching one of our shorts, or if you see us on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, go to YouTube or Spotify or Apple and like and follow our podcast, and so you get notifications. And we will be back in just a minute. There are a lot of corrections because sometimes we just, like I just said, Travis Etienne, who does not play for the Colts. I was thinking Jonathan Taylor because he's the best back in the league this year. Jonathan Taylor is.
You kept it in the AFC South at least because Travis Etienne plays for.
Thank you.
Plays for Jacksonville. We do have a supersized version of corrections this week.
Let's hear it.
We were, first of all, I'm going to say we were both a little punchy on Tuesday. We were both tired. I think we just didn't. We had a B- game last week. Here's a couple corrections. I made a big deal out of the 7 home dogs that we had in the slate last week. One of those was Minnesota at Pittsburgh. That game was played in Ireland. It was not considered. It was considered a home game for bookkeeping purposes. But Pittsburgh was not a home dog. So while I still won a few pesos on it, I can't take credit for that. We also talked about Seinfeld. Seinfeld starting. I don't know. We threw around a bunch of days.
I thought it was 88, but I think it was 89.
We threw around. Well, it was 89. I'd said 87. You said 87, 88. I was like, oh yeah, I think it was 88. And it's not. It's 99. It's 1989. And along those same lines, I made a big deal about the cold open thing with friends and doing the laugh track into the break, and then we kind of made parallel arguments about who invented it, which wasn't really what I was saying, but wasn't what you were saying. That's beside the point. Cheers definitely did that friend style cold open.
I knew that was
a solid 15 years before Friends was even thought of.
Yeah, most of those kids were like 12 when they were.
We teased a big Derrick Henry discussion, and we never quite covered it. But we're going to do that in a second. But really, the biggest one, and this is just me opening my foot and just
opening your mouth,
opening my mouth and chugging my entire foot. We talked about the 70s motif of the CBS pregame show that featured Brent Musburger in a Falcons hat.
Oh, I remember this.
And I was like, oh yeah, Brent Musburger, he's from Georgia, isn't he? We just kind of went with it. It's like, oh yeah, it's from Georgia, big Falcons fan. Brent Musburger was born in Portland, Oregon. He was raised in Billings, Montana. And from all the research that I did, he has shockingly little tie. Very few ties to the South or Georgia or the Falcons or anything like that.
So you see him in a Falcons hat, immediately you think he is from Georgia.
Oh, he's from Georgia. He's got to be from
Well,
Georgia.
he always sounds like he's from the East Coast.
Yeah,
I would have bet East Coast.
Well, it's tough to tell sometimes with the old school broadcasters because they were like, I feel like
they shun the accents.
Broadcasting school they focused a lot more on the accents. Like that's sort of the older generations. In the newer generation, you sort of see it slip in a little bit with the newer guys, but with the newer folks that do it now. But
who's the guy? Marty. Who's the guy?
Yeah.
ESPN guy. He does some NASCAR now, but he was brought in to do football. I want to say.
He was doing college football stuff.
Yeah,
he was doing a lot of stuff like
This will be in the corrections next week.
Yeah, this is we're setting ourselves up in the corrections.
But anyway,
for
Musburger had
corrections.
nothing
Musburger,
to do with Georgia.
not from Georgia. Not unclear why he was wearing a Falcons hat in the.
It
pregame
doesn't
show.
make any sense.
Yeah. So let's go back to this. Correct. We teased a discussion about Derrick Henry and the Ravens. I want to just read something off here to you because we talked earlier in the season when we were doing our previews that the Ravens might be due to fall off, and it was because I pointed out that Derrick Henry had at least 300 touches in 3 consecutive seasons leading up to this year. A lot of and that includes his 1 year in Baltimore and then the 2 previous years in Tennessee.
Okay.
We talked about how I thought maybe that offense is going to fall off because it was driven by. I thought the increase in Lamar's performance was due to having Derrick Henry back there, and we said maybe it might be time. Derrick Henry's turning 31. Here's what's going on with Derrick Henry. They're now 1-3. They lost that crazy game to. They lost that crazy Week 1 game to Buffalo. That the Bills came back in the last minute. That was kind of a fluke. Derrick Henry had a good game. He had a great game. He had almost 150 yards in that game, or maybe over 150 yards. Since then, in the 1 win and 2 losses, these are his last 3 games: 11 carries for 23 yards, 12 carries for 50 yards, 8 carries for 42 yards. Now, his averages, if you look at them, are 8 carries for 42 yards. That's five-ish
5
carries.
yards a carry.
It's 5 yards a carry, but he only had 8 of them. Why did he only have 8? 12 carries for 50 yards. That's 4.5-ish yards a carry.
Yeah, but that's like 3 touches a quarter.
He also had the fumbling issue. He had fumbled once in each of the first 3 games. And the offense has just not looked very good. And I'm starting to wonder, are we right that possibly Derrick Henry, is this the fall-off year for him?
Well, one of the problems that Baltimore had versus Kansas City specifically is they only ran 20. They ran 33 passing plays. They were 23 of 33, and they only had 17 rushes. So that's only 50 offensive plays.
They got behind early, and that's another problem with the Ravens is that their defense is not great.
And Kansas City had 37 passes and 32 rushes. So.
Okay. Yeah. Their defense also played really well. I mean, this is an issue for the Ravens.
Baltimore is 1-3 for a reason.
This is an issue for the Ravens, and this is worse. I think this is worse than when the Chiefs started 0-2 because the Chiefs at least looked at this and went, we got to figure out something that we can do with our offense, some way that we can scheme around the fact that we don't have a ton of talent. Baltimore, there's really, I don't, if you don't have Derrick Henry and now Lamar is hurt, I just wonder, are we going to be 3 weeks from now looking at them at, 2-4, 2-5, and we're going, man, it's over for them.
Yeah, the only problem with that is they play in the AFC North where the Steelers are the de facto good team right now. Which makes no sense because I don't think the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers are just all that.
No, they're not.
I just don't.
They're not. And the numbers actually show that the Rodgers offense is not very good. It's bottom third.
But the Ravens host the Texans, then they host the Rams, then they host the Bears. Those are all 3 pretty decent teams. They're at Miami, where I think they will be heavily favored. At Minnesota, at Cleveland, which is a division game. Then they get the Jets and the Bengals, but they don't have an easy schedule.
They should be able to beat. They should be able to beat the Bears. They should be able to.
They should be able to.
They play the Texans this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I find it really hard to bet on the Ravens right now.
So do I, and I would actually that I had them under 10.5 for the season prior to the season.
But I'll give
wins, and you might want to look at their over under and see what the odds are that you can get right now.
I'll give you credit though. You sent me a text and it said, "I think the Ravens have a Derrick Henry problem." So you have been on this for a while now.
Sure, but in fairness, I mean, we kind of talked about it in season previews that what happens if this is the year that Derrick Henry turns 31 and really looks 31.
He may be turning into a pumpkin.
We might be finding out right now. So,
speaking of pumpkin, what's the contest look like?
The contest. All right, you want to go through our picks? We had a little goofy math to have to do this week because of that unconscionable tie between Green Bay and Dallas. Look, if we have another tie this year, I'm gonna
have a fucking.
I'm just gonna walk into traffic. It's like anyway. So we'll start. I had the first one that did not hit was I had Atlanta at plus 112 and Tennessee at plus 270, and that was plus 684. And of course, I don't know in hindsight why I picked Tennessee. Just seemed like maybe Houston has a stinker.
I mean, Houston was 0-3. Yeah. What do you want?
Atlanta, I kind of figured
that was another loser leaves town. I think
Atlanta, I kind of figured had to have a bounce back week, but other than that, that was a shot in the dark, and that was only 20 pesos. It would have helped me out quite a bit and get me back into the red, into the black on our bets. You want to talk about your big 6-legger?
Let's hear it.
All right, the Chargers
fucked us.
Just they took that bloody beating gambling heart and took
the rest of them though. I hit
every single one, every other one hit, and I questioned why you were trusting Houston. And you were absolutely right to trust Houston. You had, other than the Chargers, you had Houston, Detroit, Buffalo, Green Bay, and Denver. And I didn't do any math on how this would have turned out. It was plus 268 because they were all pretty solid favorites.
Plus 185.
It would have been plus. It would have been
because
plus,
Green Bay was in there.
I think it would have been plus. It would have been over plus 200.
Okay,
I'll do that math another time. But
it didn't.
Sadly, it did not hit. Neither did your 4-leg version of that, where you basically just left out Green Bay and Denver. Because again, the Chargers.
Jesus, Chargers.
What the hell, man? What the hell? I had the big deal that I made out of all the home dogs. I had Arizona at minus 102. That did not hit. I had Tampa Bay at plus 144. That did not hit, but that was closer than. That was pretty close for
that was fine
for a home dog. The 3 that did hit, and I said this last week, 5 dogs. If 3 of them hit, I'm making my money back on these. I put 10 on each of these. Pittsburgh at plus 124, and I know technically not a home dog, but we're counting it. Dallas at plus 6.5. That got that at minus 102, and KC plus 2.5. That was minus 102. So I ended up totaling 62 pesos on $50 worth of bets there.
All right,
50 pesos worth of bets.
KC was, I think, your savant bet of the week. That was I couldn't have. I thought KC was done for.
I'm going to tell you this. Kansas City at home, if they're home underdogs, and it has not happened very often the last few years, I'm taking them as home dogs.
But if you were brave, you would have just bet the money line. What was my last bet? I had one that actually hit.
Last one that actually hit.
The one that hit.
We'll get yours that hit, and I got one more. You had the Rams. You had parlayed the Rams minus 3.5, Chicago money line, and then Green Bay money line, and that started at plus 377. But with the void of Green Bay, it came to plus 268. You had 40 on that, 40 pesos, which got you 147.2 pesos. So that's a pretty good hit, right?
Okay, so where are we now for the contest?
Well, I had one more. I had the Rams, Green Bay, and Denver money line that started as plus 155, but it ended up after the Green Bay void at minus 103. So I only turned 30 pesos into 59.14 pesos. But yeah, let's look at the actual standings here, because while we made some headway, it's still a little grim.
It's not good
for going into week 5. Here's where let's see. This is riveting radio right here. We may have to.
By the way, if you are seeing this in any way, shape, or form, will you please like and subscribe so you can find us later?
Yes.
And it helps us grow our podcast for our myriad advertisers.
Bet small, lose small. Join the
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. All you have to do is search Bet Small, Lose Small, and up pop our faces.
Join the tens of people that are
Yes.
that are listening to this podcast. Okay, here we go. Updated standings. You clawed your way back. Going into last week, you were 179.5 pesos in the red. You clawed your way back to minus 32.2 pesos. So you're still sub. You're still below. You're still below the Mendoza line, but you're at least climbing back. I climbed back a little bit further. Going into this week, I was 24.7 pesos underwater, and now I am only 3.56 pesos underwater.
Almost
so
back in black.
Little work to do.
Almost Amy Winehouse.
We're starting to get our sea legs under us here. Eventually by like week 10, you'll be able to trust at least like half of our picks.
That's right. So I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick break and come back with our picks, and then we're going to talk about the song of the 90s and our song of the 90s, and the best thing we saw, the worst thing we saw this past week, and maybe a little bit of some news in college football that I just can't believe. Tough week to bet this week. I think coming up in week 5. Just looking over the games, like some of them, the lines are just good. I mean, they're good Vegas lines. They've got them in a place. We should have more information than what we think we have through 4 weeks. But like we were talking about earlier, just the teams you trust. As we're doing our picks and our contest, I'm trying to stay with the teams I trust, either betting against them or betting for them.
I kind of did a hybrid. I had a lot of teams that I thought, given that it's week 5, I think there are a few teams that are they're just getting a few too many points. And I'm gonna kind of ride some of those. Now we should say we've got 4 teams. This is the first week of buys. We've got Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh on bye.
Yeah.
We're gonna run through all these. We have a game in England again this week.
Just for a second, did you catch any of the game that was in Ireland?
A little bit of it.
Did you see the footing issues?
Terrible.
Why is it that every time they play on a soccer pitch, they cannot keep their feet?
I feel like soccer just must be a different. Is soccer just a different kind of field? Like, do they just need a different kind? I don't understand it either.
I don't know, but I noticed that every time we have a game played like somewhere else, the footing isn't right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just go through the slate real quick.
Yeah.
49ers at Rams. I think the Rams are so much better than the 49ers right now.
This is Thursday night. Just keep in mind.
Thursday. Yeah, I know you don't like the Thursday night games.
Yeah.
I got a little sprinkle on that. We'll talk about it, but I do like betting this game.
I like this game despite it being Thursday night as well.
Minnesota is at Cleveland. That is, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I don't think Minnesota's offense is very good. And I think Cleveland's defense is very good.
Not so fast, my friend. This game is in England. This is the England game.
Okay.
Now, the Vikings were.
They've been there. They stayed.
They were so bad that they were so bad on Saturday against the Steelers that the NFL just said, just stay.
They're staying.
Stay there. We don't need you back. Come back in October. They sent them in September. They're coming back in October.
So they're playing
this is Vikings,
2 games.
Yeah, it's Vikings at Cleveland in terms of it's technically a Browns road game, but it's a road game for everybody. And the Browns are getting 3.5. I don't know. These games are. I mean, they're playing this one at 9:30 in the morning. Which it's not 9:30 in the morning in England. Maybe Minnesota has a little bit of an advantage.
I think they do have an advantage because
they've been there. They've been there.
All right, Cleveland has to travel this week.
Yeah,
and Minnesota will have been on England time for a couple of weeks.
I'd love to know what that's like. I don't know. Has there been a Hard Knocks team that's had to go to England?
I don't know.
One of these games.
That's got to be a brutal schedule, though. Like, for real. Like, being away from your home for 2 weeks in a row.
Well, for the Vikings, for sure. But what about the teams like the Pittsburgh and Cleveland that just go there for one game? Like, do they have time to adjust to the... I don't know, man. 9:30 in the morning.
I think you got to start practicing early in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Um,
That one's
Stay away from me.
away from that one. Those are European. Those Europe games get weird.
the Texans are a 1.5 favorite at Baltimore. Make that make sense. Are they not expecting Lamar to play?
I don't know, but I feel like even I don't know.
One of these teams
who's
is going
the-
to be 1-4.
Who is the? Ooh, gosh, that's true. Who's the backup quarterback for Baltimore now? Do we know that?
They played the other day. I can't think of their name.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
not
either.
important. They're not good.
It's not. It's not It's not anybody that
How do we bet that? I don't think there's any way to bet that.
Okay, I have Baltimore money line in one of my picks. I'll just tell you that because I think Baltimore at home, like let's say Lamar doesn't play, can Baltimore still win that game as bad as the Houston offense has been?
Baltimore's found ways to lose three games already.
I mean, what if Derrick Henry just wakes up for one game and runs all over the Texans, which the Texans
Nope,
have
the Texans are not going to get run over.
Okay, well,
They have one of the lowest point totals in the league.
if I'm picking that game at all, it's gonna be Baltimore money line, just because it's Baltimore.
I think that Houston could go in there and win.
That's possible too. That's possible.
The 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week is the New York Football Giants at the New Orleans Saints.
Whew.
Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Do not.
Couldn't tell you how to bet it. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't.
Nope.
Moving on.
I would say there's a significant chance that the Giants lose a little bit of that Jackson Dart momentum from week 1. But
Against the Saints,
who the hell knows? This is Brett Rattler. Brett Rattler versus Jackson Dart, an old
no,
SEC.
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. Why do I keep saying Brett?
I have no
Did he have a
idea.
brother named Brett or something? I don't know. I'm gonna write that down.
The next,
Spencer.
the runner-up 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week is the Miami Tyreek Hill-less Dolphins versus the Carolina one-win Panthers.
I like Carolina.
They're a 1.5 dog at home.
I like Carolina. I like the minus. I like getting that. I like the +1.5. Well, I don't like the +1.5 so much, but I think they're an underdog, but they're -102 at home. But I think
I would just take the -102.
the Dolphins are a mess. Carolina at least showed that somebody comes to them and they can hang 30 on them without even breaking a sweat and shut them out. I mean, they shut out Atlanta 30-0. You think the Dolphins are going to come into Carolina? I mean, Carolina was
I
on
think
the
that-
road at New England this
I
week and looked terrible.
I think the Dolphins have about the 23rd best quarterback in the league, and he just lost his best receiver.
Okay.
The Raiders are at the Colts. The Colts are 6.5 point favorites. I'm not willing to lay 6.5, but I'm not willing to bet against the Colts. So I'll probably have an alternate line on that one.
I'm taking the money line on that only because I can throw it in with some other pretty nice favorites and get a good number.
Fair. Denver Broncos giving 4.5 at the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is Eagles all day long. I know the Broncos just beat up on the Bengals, but I'm not scared.
I think this is a trap. I think that
For
4.5. For us. 4.5 points. That is a trap. The Eagles kind of do this thing. It's similar to what the Bills do. They hang around. They let the other team hang around. They kind of feel them out. They figure out how much they have to do to actually win the game, and eventually, they win by 6. They win by 5. They win by 8. They're just kind of.
So you think
I
it's going to
think-
be like 27-22, 27-23, something like that?
I think this could be.
And the Broncos get that backdoor cover or that
Yes.
bullshit.
They get the garbage time cover. They get some kind of, the Eagles have to. The Eagles are only leading by 3, or they're leading by 1 or something, so they kick a field goal because they couldn't get in the end zone because they're like, we got to force Bo Nix to score a touchdown in the last minute and a half. There's something about this game screams to me Bengals or Broncos cover the 4.5.
All right. The Dallas Cowboys are 2.5 point favorites at the New York Jets. If I'm betting that, I'm taking the Jets. Give me the plus 120 money line probably. I don't. Dallas has got a good offense.
It's fine.
I don't know what the Jets are.
The Jets are a team that, well, they can run all over you. That's for sure. They can run the ball. Breece Hall has been good.
Yeah, he has.
Justin Fields has been good. He's been running the ball pretty nicely. They commit stupid turnovers, but they also have committed stupid turnovers to defenses that are good, and the Cowboys are not good. I think this game can end up getting into the 30s. Like all of a sudden, you're gonna look up and you're gonna go, "How did the Jets score 36 in this game?" And I like the Jets. I have an alternate line on the Jets, but I could justify taking the Jets money line on this.
Yeah, I mean,
at home.
If you think it's going to be 28-21, then you go over.
Yeah.
All right. Titans are 8.5-point dogs at the Cardinals. If this is a bet you're willing to make, I'm not willing to lay the 8.5, but I will definitely put the Cardinals on a money line parlay somewhere.
I'm taking the Titans plus the 8.5 all day long in that one. That's too many points. That is too many points for that Arizona team that just doesn't. They do a lot of things okay. They don't do anything particularly well.
I think the Titans are pretty bad, though.
The Titans are pretty bad, but
I think they're actually really bad.
But they're also pretty fired, and they're pretty fired up. Or maybe they're fired up. I know Cam Ward was fired up, and that guy. I like Cam Ward. I think he's got an attitude. I think he's got leadership. He went off on his team in the press conference after the game on Sunday. I don't think the Titans necessarily go on the road and win at Arizona, but I'll take the 8.5 points.
I think the best game of the week, just from a competitive standpoint, is the Bucks at the Seahawks. Seahawks laying 3. I don't have a strong feeling on this. I do really like the Seahawks, but I really also like the Bucks. So this is a Vegas 3-point home favorite kind of deal.
Yep. I don't want to bet on this game, but I'm going to do anything in my power to watch it because I want to see.
I think it's going to be.
I want to see Baker first of all. I want to see Baker on the road in a hostile environment like
Seattle.
He's
got some dog in him that wants to shut the fans up.
He does, man.
He is fun to watch.
His best comes out in him when he's facing that kind of stuff.
And I think he's got good arm talent. I think he's got some moxie, and he's not backing down from anybody. And if I can get that in a fun to watch team, and he's got a couple of his receivers back, then yeah, I think it'd be a great game to watch.
This is a low key this could be a round 1 or round 2 playoff matchup.
Certainly,
And I want to keep an eye on Sam Darnold because once the cracks start to show with Sam Darnold, it's gonna go fast, and that's when we're gonna know it's time to just bang all the money against Sam Darnold.
You're waiting for him to turn into a pumpkin.
I'm just waiting for it, man. It's gonna happen.
All right. Washington Commanders are laying 2.5 at the LA Chargers. The Chargers bit us in the ass last week, but I still have this much faith. This much. It's not much, but I am willing to put some money on the Chargers against the Commanders. I just don't think the Commanders are all that.
I skipped the Chargers in my official picks for the contest. Hindsight, I probably should have put them in something. I might even change a pick here and there. But what I'm telling you is the Chargers they're not losing this game. There's no way they're taking that beating in New York, and Harbaugh is going to come back and just be like, well, just on to next. This is not an on to next week kind of deal for Jim Harbaugh. They're winning that game, and I would lay the points on that too.
The Lions are at the Bengals. The Lions are 10.5-point road favorites. I'm not willing to lay 10.5, but I think this is going to be a lopsided victory.
10.5 is too much for the Lions on the road, and at some point, this Bengals offense is going to figure out something. They can't keep scoring 3 points every week. They will figure something out.
This is in the 4:30 slot.
Yeah.
Another 4:30 slot game is the Patriots at your Buffalo Bills. Bills are 8.5-point favorites. That's way too many points.
Too many points. Drake May's playing well. The Bills, I mentioned this earlier. This is what the Bills do is they're playing with their food. They're figuring out what they can pick at. They're taking these slow starts that they get off to. They're just kind of feeling these teams out. These teams that they know they're better than. They don't have everybody on defense. They're missing Matt Milano. They're missing Ed Oliver. They're missing Max Hairston, their first round rookie cornerback. They know they're going to be better later in the year, and they know that they can afford to kind of figure things out as these games go along. They didn't cover against the Saints, which was an absurd line anyway. But 8.5, I think this is a touchdown game.
All right.
I'd take the points. In fact, I might have actually taken the points in the picks.
The Kansas City Chiefs are at the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
That the Patriots and Bills was a Sunday night. The Monday night game is Chiefs at Jags. Jags are playing well. They're 3-1. The Chiefs are 2-2. Really stomped on the Ravens. The Jags are getting 3 at home.
To me, the Chiefs are waking up, and at some point, I can't get myself on this Trevor Lawrence bandwagon.
Okay.
I can't do it. I know he's looked good, but their passing offense is not highly ranked.
I'm not trying to get. Are
you taking? Who are you taking this one? What do you go? Who do you take on the money line? It's plus 144 Jags.
If I'm betting a money line here, I think I have to go with the Jags just because I think the Chiefs put one on the Ravens when the Ravens had a backup quarterback in there, and I just don't think the Ravens are good.
Okay.
But I don't think the Chiefs' offense is very good. I think it's okay.
I think you can go Jags plus 3.
Yeah.
In this one,
if I was going to bet that,
if I'm going to take
it's a stay away from me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on to the picks.
Okay. Let's do it. Now, we should say, too, next week the schedule is going to be a little bit different. We're recording on Monday instead of our usual Tuesday. I don't know if we'll publish on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. But so we're taking the Chiefs Jags out of the equation because we're going to be actually have that game going on while we're recording on Monday. So we're taking that off the table. Yeah. But you heard us just say, I think I would take Jags plus 3.
We're going to try to publish
Chiefs money line.
We'll probably publish Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
So my first pick for 30 pesos in our contest, in which I am still underwater, some pesos, and behind with the threat of having to wear the Bills hat backwards.
The dirty lawn mowing Bills hat.
I'm taking the Rams down to 3.5 over the 49ers.
Is that a minus?
Yeah, I'm taking them to minus 3.5. That's a minus 162. Taking the Colts down to minus 3.5. Hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. That's minus 184. And I'm taking the Eagles minus 4.5. Which gets that which is minus 104 against the Broncos for a total of plus 389 for 30 pesos.
Okay. Oh, I like that. You got that to plus 389? That's pretty good. Those are all alternate lines.
The Eagles is actually 4.5.
Eagles is actually 4.5. Okay. I got you.
So 2 alternate lines and the Eagles minus 4.5.
Okay. I have my first pick is I'm taking the Rams money line. This is my not double money and move on, but I'm considering this a relatively safe slate. I am taking the Rams at home at minus 295 over the 49ers. I'm taking Indy at minus 330 at home over the Raiders. And I'm taking the Jets with an alternate line of 3.5, plus 3.5. That gets me minus 150. Wow. Because I think, again, this is again where I think that Cowboys defense makes every offense look fantastic. They did it. They did it to Green Bay, even though they tied Green Bay. They did it to the Bears. Who else did they do? They've done this. They've done this to every team that they've played. They made their offense look like a scoring juggernaut. And the Jets are ready. Justin Fields isn't playing great as a quarterback, but as a runner, he's been awesome. Breece Hall has been awesome. He's catching balls out of the backfield, which is exactly the kind of thing that that Justin Fields needs, is somebody to catch balls out of the backfield.
Okay.
I think you're going to look up at some point, and this game is tied at 35, and it's the fourth quarter.
Then you should take the over.
Then I might take the over, but I'm taking the alternate line of plus 35, of plus 3.5 for the Jets. And those three, the Rams, Colts, and Jets, get me to plus 190. I'm putting 40 pesos on that.
Oh, big bet.
Yeah.
All right. My next contest pick is a 3-leg parlay. This is a double your money, move on kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona Cardinals hosting the Titans. They are minus 450. I'm taking the money line. The Los Angeles Chargers, they're minus 2.5, hosting the Commanders, coming all the way across the country. In a 4:30 game, they're only giving 2.5, and that's minus 120. And then I'm taking the Lions on the road at the Bengals, minus 560, and that gets me to plus 164.
How many are you putting on that?
That is 30 pesos.
30. Okay.
And then I've got a slate of 10 peso games that I'm just doing,
Yeah.
straight bets on.
I've got some of those too.
I've gone to the Andrew School of make a little money here.
Listen, get some of these high lines while there's still time. Because I've got Denver plus 4.5, Cincinnati plus 10.5, New England plus 8.5, Tennessee plus 8.5. Those are all minus 118 odds. So they're not going to pay great, but I'm putting 10 pesos on each of those, and if two of them hit, I'm clear.
All right.
Or almost clear.
I'm doing the same thing. I've got the Pats plus 8.5 at minus 118. That's 10 pesos. I've got the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5. That is minus 105 for 10 pesos. I've got the Colts money line minus 330. That's 10 pesos. And I've got the Eagles money line. That's minus 200 for 10 pesos. Now, those are not going to pay great.
What did you say the Philadelphia one was?
They're minus 200.
Minus 200.
Money,
and you're just putting 10 on each of those.
10 on each.
Hey, that's okay. Sometimes you got to get those little ones in there to make up for the
I
the
have
other
not
stuff.
hit too many of those.
Yeah, that's right. So that's your three, and I've got one more. I've got a money line here that's Baltimore plus 110. I still think that Baltimore, as bad as the Texans' offense has been, I think they can beat Houston at home. So I'm taking their money line. I'm taking Carolina minus 102. I think Carolina is going to beat the Dolphins. I think this is the week that the Dolphins really start to fall apart. And I'm taking, even though I took the Jets at plus 3.5 earlier, I'm taking the Cowboys money line at minus 142, and I'm putting those three things together, and I get that to plus 608, and I'm putting 20 pesos on that.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go, baby. Let's go. Let's make some money back here. Let's get into the black this week, Lanny. It's time. It's time to actually bet small and win small.
All right. Now we've got a little bit of news, football news, and this is not necessarily the NFL, but I sent you an article today from The Athletic, which is the New York Times sports section, essentially.
Yeah.
Bobby Petrino
Oh, here we go.
could become a head coach.
Oh, man.
Again. So I'm going to read off some of his history. The big history that you want to remember here is when he was at Arkansas, he had hired a young woman that was like 40 years his junior, no, maybe 30 years his junior. He had a motorcycle wreck with her on the motorcycle, busted up his face, held a press conference, lied about her being on the motorcycle, blah, 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 blah. But let's just go back down the Bobby Petrino list of things. This is from The Athletic. All credit to them. After Petrino's, this is 2001, only season as the Jags offensive coordinator, he leaves to become the Auburn offensive coordinator without telling then head coach Tom Coughlin. That was 2001. After a year at Auburn, Petrino becomes Louisville's head coach. So he leaves the Southeastern Conference, in which he will have to play teams like Alabama and Ole Miss and LSU and Florida. And he goes to Louisville. That's in 2003. In 2007, 6 months after signing a 10-year contract with Louisville, he leaves for the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh God!
Still in
I love this so much.
Still in 2007.
There's not many people that can be. There are not many clown show stories that equal the career of Bobby Petrino. Just go ahead. This is amazing.
13 games into a lost season without Michael Vick, Petrino leaves for Arkansas.
Did he not leave? Didn't he write a letter? He left in the middle.
A 78-word letter.
He wrote a letter to his team. He did not. This was in the middle of the season.
He said the hard part was leaving all the people and the blah, blah, blah. He goes, the easy part was leaving for Arkansas.
Oh, my God.
So in 2012, he had the motorcycle wreck with the woman that was not his wife on the back of the motorcycle, lied about it.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Not a good look.
Not what you want to see. Yeah.
All right. So by 2016, he is back at Louisville since 2014. He ends up in a scandal where he has the Wake Forest playbook. He gets fired by Louisville after 2-8 start in 2018. Loses five blowouts in a row. He ends up at FCS Missouri State, which is Division I AA.
Right.
He returns to, this is in 2023, he returns to school he had embarrassed 11 years prior, which is Arkansas. And he is in consideration for the full-time job, says the current AD at Arkansas. He's 64 years old now. Your thoughts?
I mean, look, if you in this life, if you don't get a second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth
chance,
or ninth or 10th or 11th chance, then what are we even doing, man?
I guarantee you there are multiple 18 and 15 career FCS coaches that are not being considered for the Arkansas
just
job.
Going, what do I have to do? Do I have to be seen with a hooker at
right.
a Applebee's? What do I have to do here?
So anyway, that is the as we told the CTE story last week. This is the football is a business take.
Have we checked old Bobby for CTE after the motorcycle wreck?
I don't know.
Because good Lord, man, you got to make some better decisions at some point. I don't know. And then the other thing is he keeps getting jobs. So I guess I can't fault what he's doing. He's doing something right.
Well, that was the worst thing I saw this week.
My goodness. I wonder if he do you think him and Rick Pitino just exchange texts sometimes?
I think they're in a group.
And they're in a
group text.
They have their own private Reddit thread where they just talk and they're thinking about fucking around with a 26-year-old this weekend just to see if I can still pull it off.
Well, I mean,
Rick's I don't know, man. I spent a lot of time on my coffin, so.
Do you think that there's anybody else in the group?
Oh gosh, that's a great question.
So who would it be? It would be Bobby Petrino, Rick Pitino.
Urban Meyer's kind of low.
Urban Meyer is in there?
Yeah, right? He's got to be in there.
God, that video of him was so weird.
Is Billy Gillespie just kind of standing outside the clubhouse going, guys,
Billy
Guys,
Billy
they're like,
Gillespie is
they're like that guy. He
bringing
hasn't-
this.
You actually have to do something, Billy, before we let you in the door.
That is true.
Yeah.
But gosh, the old Patriots coach, the current North Carolina coach, he's got a very young
my goodness,
Bill
Belichick.
Belichick.
Belichick is almost like he almost doesn't. He wouldn't even try to join that group because he's like, well, it's six Super Bowl rings.
Belichick is embarrassing himself.
I mean,
this is an embarrassment.
it's so bad. It's so bad.
What is he? He has a girlfriend that's way too young for him. He is getting his ass beat off at North Carolina. He is
Phrasing.
by record, by any measurement you want to look at, he is the greatest football coach of all time. Now, did he have one of the greatest players of all time on his team all of those years? Yes, he did.
Sure.
But he is, by any account, one of the greatest football coaches of all time. And he's dating this woman that is way too young for him. He's fat and old and getting his clock cleaned at North Carolina.
Let's put the weird girlfriend situation / caretaker thing
it to the
side. Why do you go to a program like North Carolina and do the things that you're doing? Like, they're terrible. And it's not like, okay, to his credit, it can't be easy to turn around North Carolina in like 8 months. But the question remains, like, why? Why are you doing this?
What do you have to prove?
Yeah. Like, why don't you just wait for the next NFL job to open up?
I just think it's embarrassing.
I don't get it. It didn't make any sense to me at the time when he took the job. It still doesn't make any sense to me, especially now that those teams are getting their asses kicked.
And now Pete Carroll is with the Raiders, and I think Pete is a stand-up guy.
Sure.
I think he is lauded as a very good coach. He has a Super Bowl.
Very well liked by his players, even though he's 72, 71.
He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
But, he's not doing the Raiders any favors. They're not winning.
No. But they have a lot to they have a lot of rebuilding.
Well,
to
it's
do
the
too.
most fucked up organization besides the Cowboys in all of pro football.
I don't know if it's a drop in competition from whoever's above the Raiders to the Raiders, the same as it is like who's above the. It's kind of hard to build a program in college football, I think, if you don't have like some kind of pedigree. But I don't know, man. It's confusing to me. I don't know what Belichick is doing there. I don't know what's the best case scenario for him?
8-3.
What is he spends 4 years there, and what? Do they have a shot at getting into the conference?
He's
into
like
the college playoffs?
73 years old by that time.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
All right.
Bobby Petrino, good on you, bro.
Paul Feinbaum was mulling a Senate run, too. That was in the Athletic. And I was like,
great.
He's going to run as a Republican. Fantastic. Are you shocked?
No.
No.
Why? No.
No.
Is he from Georgia? Did he come from the same? Does
he have a Falcons hat? Did he grow up? He has Georgia ties?
Did he grow up with Brent Musburger?
He must have.
I don't know, man. Whatever. Feinbaum.
All right, we're gonna move on.
You want to take a quick break, and then we'll come to. All right. What are we gonna do? The best thing, worst thing, and or.
Well, those were the worst things I had seen this week.
Those are the worst things. Okay, we'll just leave it with that. I don't have anything that can top Bobby Petrino.
All right, we'll take a break.
Let's take a break.
Like and follow.
So we can
subscribe.
Like and follow, please. Bet small, lose small. Look us up.
Okay, so we talked earlier about the 90s, and I was talking about putting on this 90s rock drive playlist from Spotify. And you kind of morphed my question, but
okay.
The question was the song of the 90s.
Okay.
The song of the 90s.
Which is how I understood it. When you posed the
you
question
understood
to me,
you understood what I meant.
I thought you meant the song of the 90s, and I immediately, first of all, I came up with an answer in my head immediately.
Okay.
And I also thought he's talking about what do you think is the song of the 90s, not necessarily your favorite song of the 90s, because everybody's favorite song of the 90s is going to be slightly different, I would think. I mean, we're all human. We all have different tastes, right? Somebody's going to say a Britney Spears song. Somebody's going to say, Korn. So
All
I don't
right,
know.
fair.
But
Okay,
the song of the '90s is a little different.
that is a mess up. Go on.
Oh no.
No, that I didn't mean to.
Okay.
I didn't mean
Okay.
to do that.
Okay. Because I was really going to throw an iPad through the wall if that was
You're
it.
not a Counting Crows fan?
I mean, I am, but I remember sitting in the freshman dorm when I was a freshman at Kentucky. Uh, we had a buddy that he just was like he was struggling his first semester,
Okay.
and this was in 1997. And we would walk into the room, and he'd be listening to that first Counting Crows album, and we'd be like, "Dude, are you okay?" Because if you ever listen to that, what is it, August and Everything After?
Yeah,
That's
that
a
has
dark
Mr.
album,
Jones.
dude. As for Mr. Jones, it is just like it's grab a box of tissues and cry. Like it's somber. Anyway, Mr. Jones does not make my list.
Okay, what are some
What
of
are we
your
doing first? What are we doing first?
All right,
Our song. Let's do our songs first.
Yeah, your song of
Okay.
the '90s.
Okay. My songs of the '90s. If I have to pick one, I'm probably going to pick. I'm probably going to pick Alive by Pearl Jam just as a default because I am a Pearl Jam fan, and I can't think of another one that when I think about like what really drove the '90s music for me, it was Pearl Jam. And I could pick a number of Nirvana songs or Soundgarden. I could take the whole Super Unknown album from Soundgarden, which I think is one of the 3 or 4 best rock albums of all time. I could take a lot of Beck stuff. I could take some Wu-Tang Clan. But if I have to pick one song that I say that's the '90s for me, it's probably going to be Pearl Jam, Alive.
Okay, so mine is there are a lot of those in there for me too, like Karma Police from Radiohead. Just an aside.
Oh, fake plastic trees should make that list for me.
Just an aside. Several years ago, I was going through this awful breakup with my ex. We won't get too far into this, but let's just say there were a lot of days in court, and every time that we would end up on the winning side from a day in court,
Yeah.
I would go to Facebook and post Karma Police without any comment.
Savage. That's a savage.
It was
It's nicely done, sir.
why
Well
why it was
Yeah.
I needed to do something.
It was just a release. Yeah.
It was anything.
Yep.
All right.
I understand. I mean, I guess I'd never been in that position personally, but I understand the unloading with
It was
unloading with a little bit of subtlety.
something to
Yeah.
I had to get it out. I loved I did love the Counting Crows, but it wasn't Mr. Jones. It was the there was another one. I can't think of it. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
Hunger Strike, Temple of the Dog. I mean,
Oh,
my
God, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell
Yeah.
could just fucking belt. Dave Matthews,
Mm-hmm.
Crash. It sounds cheesy now, but that song rocked.
It was cheesy then. Like there was the whole it was because that second album was what really brought it into like college mainstream, right?
Right.
If you were in college in the mid '90s when Crash came out, the album Crash came out, and specifically the song. I mean, that was what everybody was listening to it, and it became there was the this is great. Listen to this cool band that a lot of people had already known about him for 5 or 6 years. Like I remember going to see Dave Matthews in Canandaigua, New York, at a small little amphitheater.
Wow.
On the Under the Table and Dreaming tour before Crash even existed. But it got to then there was the backlash of like, dude, just Dave Matthews all the time is cheesy, and then everybody hated Dave Matthews, and now it's like they get the last laugh because they've got a massive cult following, and they sell out Riverbend in Cincinnati with 80,000 people every time they go there.
Right. Weezer saying ain't so. I loved some Sheryl Crow back then.
Sheryl Crow was great.
Favorite
Sheryl Crow
favorite
ages the
mistake?
best.
Yes. She looks and sounds phenomenal.
If it makes you happy, great song. Great song.
But my song is going to be, and because I came to learn later what it was about, is Rooster by Alice in Chains.
That's a good. So that's your pick for the song.
For my song.
Your
yeah.
song of the 90s. Okay.
That song fucking just, he belts.
Yeah.
Absolutely belts.
Yep.
It's about a Vietnam veteran. It's about his father.
Mm-hmm.
Lane was going through a bunch of shit at the time, and he was writing about all the things that were awful with his life.
Yep.
But that was like the one kind of tribute that he could give to somebody else was this song about his father.
Yeah.
So that's my song.
That's your song. That's
Right,
your.
yeah.
That's your. If you for your. That is. I feel like we need to define.
Yeah,
this
for
again.
me,
For you, that's the song.
my probably most listened to and favorite song from that period is Rooster.
Now we get into a much more philosophical debate.
Oh, here we go.
What is the song
The song.
of the 90s?
I'm going to cue it up. I don't know yours, but you can cue yours up if you like.
I would rather not. I'll tell you that.
Why is that? You don't like
we'll
this
get there,
song?
man. We'll get there.
Okay.
Just let me cook a little. Over
Let's
here.
vamp.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Me.
Okay, this is mine.
Do it.
What has happened?
Yep. I'll allow it. I don't know how much of that we can play without getting copyrighted, but
A lot. That
so
is low
It's low
by Cracker.
by Cracker.
They were about a 3-hit wonder.
Mm-hmm.
They have an interesting backstory,
Yep.
and I'm trying not to keep playing that. Trying to
It's great. This
pull
is
it up.
really well produced. You're getting audio over a microphone, and
But
it's just going really well today.
the reason I like it, I think this is one of the 90s songs. You've heard this song 1,000 times,
Yes.
10,000 times. Maybe. I
Yes.
don't know how many times you've heard it, but
Yep.
it's a band that not a ton of people heard about, but everybody's heard that song.
Yeah.
They just don't know what else they did. It's about drugs. It's about heroin.
Yep.
It has one of the great lines of the 90s.
Yep.
And just one rose that knows your name. I love that line.
Yep. Yep. So you kind of went with a song that you not only think it defines the 90s, but you like it too.
I like the song.
And you like the band. Are you a Cracker
No.
fan?
I-
That's like on a
I'm
playlist.
a Cracker, like, I will like 4 of their songs.
So you're gonna have on your playlist. You're gonna have Low by Cracker, and then you're not gonna have any other Cracker songs.
Maybe 2.
Like you might I like the Toadies, for example, but I'll have a song or two of theirs on there, like
Right.
a couple of deep cuts from that first album that will make it. But you're saying Cracker Low is pretty. I mean, it's not like you're a big fan of the band in
No,
particular.
not
Okay.
particularly.
That's interesting. So I went. Now I will tell you this song popped into my head almost immediately when you posed this question to me.
All right.
A lot of the same kind of themes. A lot of like there's the lyrics are it references a lot of kind of depressing shit and drugs and things like that. Some kind of questionable material in there too. And I think this song actually is the song of the 90s. It is Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
Oh, my gosh.
Because everyone has heard that song.
Sure.
You hear that song in Kroger sometimes. Like, you hear that song when you're out, like, shopping in the mall. You hear it played at a baseball stadium. You hear it on, like... you'll hear it on like when the NFL broadcasts, like they have the music playing going into a commercial. They'll have that riff. It's just just an absolutely sick riff. The hook is incredible. You got the do 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 do. There's just it's an earworm, and it's everything. It was a summer song of 1997. It's just it's about drugs and getting a little
That song.
yeah, getting your winky wanked a little bit. It's about meth addiction. It's just a lot of stuff in there, and it's very cheerful and light, and it's kind of a pop song, but it's kind of a punk song. It kind of has a little bit of that California punk feel that we talked about earlier on in the cold open that took over the late 90s. It's got everything to it, man. and I don't like that song even a little.
Well, I
But
mean,
as soon as you said, what is the song of the 90s, the first I thought
song
about,
of the
it
90s.
took 1.5 seconds for me to go, it's Semi-Charmed Life.
Okay.
That's what I think of when I think of the 90s.
I think it's brave of you to pick a song you really don't like.
I mean, there's a lot of braver things that I've done in my life, but that's I guess. I don't know. It just was the first thing. I couldn't believe how fast. I was surprised how fast it popped into my head.
Well, Low for Cracker popped in. Like, that was
You came up with that immediately. Like
pretty much immediately.
You asked the question, and you answered it yourself. You were like, low. Oh, that
that
was really easy.
Yeah. And there are tons of songs I like probably better than that one.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that one incorporates and encompasses all the things that are a 90s song.
I mean, pop music people are going to bring up stuff by, Britney or, hip hop people are going to bring up like Biggie, or are going to bring up Biggie and Tupac, or they're going to bring up especially Snoop and Dr. Dre. I mean,
They were huge
the
back
Chronic
then.
album.
Yeah.
I mean, Nothing But a G Thing. That is quintessential 90s. But there's nothing that like everyone kind of universe. You can have Semi-Charmed Life and you can have Low in a lot of different scenarios, and it works. Like, it works. Does it work for the NFL outro going into a commercial break?
Right. No, I mean, it does.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing a disservice just because we're male dominated on this podcast. The two dudes, we're leaving out a lot of the women of the 90s.
Sure. Yeah.
No Doubt, which was just happened to be a female singer.
Yeah.
Huge. Alanis Morissette.
Has a lot of them. Yep.
Britney Spears was huge.
I tried to make an argument for Alanis Morissette's Ironic. I tried to make a case for that because I thought I came up with that fucking Third Eye Blind song way too quick.
Yeah.
I gotta make a case for something else, and I couldn't quite get there because across demographics, I feel like that Third Eye Blind song works a little bit better.
Okay, I can get on board with that, but I don't want to do disservice to the great. There was so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching. Just briefly, was watching the Lilith Fair documentary that I think is on HBO right now. I can't remember who made it, but it's out there, and I was watching that. But so your song, the song in your mind of the 90s.
The one that defines, the one that I think of first when I think of the 90s.
Is Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind.
And mine is Low by Cracker.
Yeah.
What are you, I just
suck on that one, internet.
Right? What are you watching real quick? I'm watching Task, and I'm also watching The Lowdown, and they're driving me crazy because they are releasing one episode a week.
Oh man.
And I can't deal.
We went back and forth. We went they kind of yanked us around on a string with the streaming thing. Like, first it was binging. Like, here you go. Here's 10 episodes of this awesome show. Enjoy them. We'll see you in 2 years. Then they decided that was too much. They had to go back to the weekly thing. I don't know why, other than like to keep a show in the conversation for longer. I guess that's got to be part of it.
Well, I think part of what they do is like Ethan Hawke. I just saw Ethan Hawke is the star of The Lowdown, which is kind of this noirish. He's a bookstore owner, but he's also kind of a writer and a truth teller. This series is set in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It has some other pretty good sized stars in there. It's interesting. It's just interesting.
I love Ethan Hawke. I'm in on that one. I want to see that. I haven't yet.
That's on FX. Task is the HBO. It's not a spinoff, so to speak, but it's in the same vein as Mayor of Easttown.
Well, it's the same writer, director.
Same.
Yeah.
All those.
Yeah.
It's East. Was it Easttown?
Mayor of Easttown. Yeah.
Yeah. That series had me wrapped.
See, I never watched that one. Aaron and I have been kind of saving it for a time when we can sit down and binge it.
That
like
series had me wrapped.
Okay.
Task is a lot like that.
Okay.
It's so well done. It is layered. It is so freaking good. I'm almost done with Homeland, which is a series about the CIA from like 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Loved it. So lots of good stuff on the TVs.
So you finished Homeland.
I'm on the last season.
How's that going for you? Because I will tell you, my experience with Homeland was first three. We've talked about this offline before. First 3 seasons. First season, oh my god. Second season was like, all right.
You needed the closer.
Third season got jump shark.
I don't think the third season jumped the shark. I think the third season closed out the first big story arc they had.
Okay.
And in the fourth, fifth, and sixth season, they had to find new story arcs.
Okay.
But I think those characters are so compelling. It's Mandy Patinkin and Claire Danes. And those characters are so compelling.
I thought Mandy Patinkin left.
No, he never left
never
the
did
show.
leave?
He's in
Okay,
every
okay.
episode.
I know. I just got annoyed with the direction of the Claire Danes character.
The bipolar,
Carrie
Matheson,
Yeah.
bipolar, she's bipolar.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is a hard watch.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
It's
That might have been part of it too. I jumped off of that after like halfway into season 4. I was like, I can't. This is a little too much for me. It was like when Grey's Anatomy, which was a good show for a while, and then they had 2 plane crashes in one season.
Right.
And it was like,
okay.
all right,
I jumped off of Handmaid's Tale after season 3
Oh, I've heard a lot of people say that
because I was so infuriated that she didn't get on the goddamn plane.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
Or the train or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. That's another one Aaron and I are saving.
All right.
So you're on task already.
We're on task.
Okay. How many episodes are we into on that one?
There have been 3.
See, I can't do it unless I got to have like at least 5 banked. Because I'm in that hybrid area between like they all get dumped out and watching weekly.
They are. I have so much respect for those people, having made just some very simple videos just around here, around my house. I shot a music video last year. I have so much respect for somebody that can do what is essentially 5 motion pictures in a row that all look amazing, all build characters. It's like, seriously, like 10 hours.
There's, there's a lot of things that I would say a few $1 million would make that a little eeasier, but
well, right. Nobody's asking me.
But it is. I mean, they're making 4 full-length feature
movies. 16 hours. So each episode's an hour, and they do 10. Yeah, I guess it's like 5.
Yeah,
5.
It's 5 feature-length movies.
Yeah.
There's a great interview that you should watch, that you should listen to, with the director, and his name is escaping me now. I just listened to it the other day. He talks to Ryan Russillo, has him on his podcast. If you're interested in Task, you ought to talk about that. You ought to give it a listen.
We need to wrap it up.
Well, wait, I just didn't get to tell you what I'm watching.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
I'm still watching Friends. Aaron and I are going to see One Battle After Another on Friday. I'll have a big report on that. I haven't had a lot of time to watch TV.
The next time we're on, we need to talk about the new theater experience.
The new theater experience. Everything is IMAX now, man.
The new theater experience. It costs more. The snacks are expensive, but is the new theater experience better or worse than it was?
What they've kind of done. We'll save it. We'll save it. IMAX is the new thing. They started selling tickets to the new Christopher Nolan movie that comes out in 2026. Pre-sale tickets just went on sale, and they are sold out in New York for like weeks.
Well, maybe that's how we get motion pictures.
I guess so. Give us a like, give us a follow. Bet small, lose small on all of your Inner Sphere locations, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Check out our shorts. Go to our YouTube channel and give us a like and a follow.
We'll see you next week.